So Slam Sports came out with their top 6 of all time, and just kind of being a sports show, we've never really addressed this. So this being the last show this semester, I really wanted to talk about this topic and give kind of our all-time top 6 list, not top 5, but top 6.
Yeah, Slam Sports did their top 6. So just so y'all know, they had MJ at 1, LeBron at 2, Magic at 3, Kareem at 4, Kobe at 5, and Shaq at 6. So we're going to go ahead and give ours. Do any of y'all want to start this off?
Tony, you got it.
Yeah. I know this is kind of, a lot of people are just going to confuse our top 6s.
Just start with 6 and go down. I
So at 6, I have Wilt Chamberlain. This was solely kind of a historic choice. It was just kind of like respect and history based. Being the only guy in the league that scored 100 points, having the best season in league history with 25 rebounds and 50 points per game, shooting from 50% of on the field. I think that merits a top 5 spot, just all his accomplishments. And then going down from that, arguably the most dominant player the league has ever seen, Shaq. Very similar to kind of Wilt in dominance, but more of a modern example. 4, I have Magic Johnson. He kind of led that era of the Lakers and probably one of the most gifted passers this game has ever seen, the best point guard this game has ever seen. But at the end of the day, he did have his restrictions, so that's why he gets a 4 spot. His game was restricted to an extent. And in a modern NBA, I don't think he'd be as successful as he was. And then going to 3, we have Kobe. That's kind of speaks for itself. Kobe was just a bucket. If you just look at guys and versatility and how they could score, Kobe could score in any way he wanted to, and I think he did this almost better. He can make the hardest shots you can think of, and I think more than Jordan and LeBron could. But he just kind of experted this game of like really difficult shots, and I think skill-wise, yeah, he deserves that spot. But at 2, I do have LeBron. His accomplishments, athleticism, everything he's done for the game. I think he deserves number 2. And then at number 1, I do have MJ. What a surprise. But it should also be noted that once LeBron's career is over, I do believe he will take the GOAT role. Just the longevity and sheer length of his career without injuries, I just think is amazing, and I think when it's all said and done, he will overtake MJ, but as of right now, I have MJ at 1.
All right, cool.
You go.
Nah, you got it.
All right, so I'll start with 6, I guess. At 6, I have Bill Russell, 11 championships.
Okay, no, respect. You have that, yeah.
Also, the reason I didn't
11
put
championships
Wilt was because Bill Russell was 7-1 against Wilt. I don't think you can.
Yeah, you brought that up against me.
Yeah, I don't think you can be considered better than another player if your winning percentage is like 12%.
Did he score 100 though?
He had 11 championships.
What was his all-time points per game high? What was it like? I don't know. Keep on going. I'll look it up.
Keep going. We'll retort later.
I don't think Keon's gonna like the next one. But at 5, I have Kobe Bean Bryant. I'll let Keon talk about him. I'm sure he'll say a lot about Kobe. At 4, I have Kareem, the all-time leading scorer. 3, I have Shaquille O'Neal. Just the most dominant player in the history of the NBA, in my opinion. Then 2, I have LeBron James. And I think LeBron's the most all-around gifted player. He came in with the most expectations out of anybody out of high school, and he exceeded any of those expectations. Then at 1, I think you're going to be a little surprised, but I have the Chuck Wagon, Chuck Hayes. I'm just kidding. I'm Michael Jordan.
I thought you were going to say Louis Scola.
Say Kevin Martin.
Carl Landry at number 1.
I still went Aaron Brooks, but
also Bill Russell's points per game high was 19 compared to Wilt's 50. But 11 championships for real. That's crazy. That's the most in the league.
Yeah.
Over MJ.
So I'll give my list. My list is a little different, but I like being a little controversial and standing out. I have my own opinion. Don't just listen to the media. So at 6, I got Larry Bird, which none of y'all I noticed had in y'all's list. He's a 3-time champ, 3-time MVP, 9-time All NBA first team, and he just kind of showed like a white dude can be cold in the NBA. Like a white dude can be the best player, one of the best players in the NBA. I mean, and he also averaged 6 assists and 10 rebounds in his career. So he was LeBron before LeBron without the athleticism of LeBron, like that all-around player. But I would also say he was very clutch and he was a better shooter than LeBron.
Underrated shooter. Seriously,
No,
one
like
of the greatest difficult
He
shooters
started, like,
ever.
The shooting wave. Like,
No, definitely like contested shots too. Like the hard shots, like he was cashing everything.
Number 5, I got Magic because he has more championships than Bird, and they were playing kind of in that same area. So he's got 5 championships, 3 MVPs, 9 All-NBA first teams. He is NBA leader in assists per games at 11.2. And just like one note that a lot of people know about, Game 6 of his rookie year in the finals, he had to get slid to the center, and he scored 42 points, 15 rebounds, 7 assists as the center. That's insane versatility right there. And I think a lot of players you see now, like kind of like the Ben Simmons of the world, players like that, are modeled after Magic. Magic kind of, in my opinion, revolutionized the game by showing that tall players can play point guard because no one had really done it before that. And it kind of showed like what advantage that could have if you have a tall player who does play the point guard. At 4, sorry, LeBron fanboys, but I have LeBron at number 4. Most versatile player ever. Give him that. Probably has, in terms of longevity, there aren't many players who's done it better for longer than him. Obviously, he has 3 rings with 3 Finals MVP and 4 actual MVPs. I think he's one of the best stat accumulators ever. But personally, 3 rings is the least on this, tied with Larry, who's at 6. So I value winning a lot, and there are just moments with LeBron that will always stick with me, like those fourth quarters against the Mavs and a couple times on the Cavs where he disappeared in the fourth or kind of quit on his team towards the end there in his first run. And, I mean, LeBron has been swept or lost in 5. He's been swept twice. He's lost in 5 twice in the finals. So that's 4 times where he's been swept or lost in 5 games. He's only won 3 finals. So you're literally better off betting against LeBron.
Wait, one of those finals without 2 of his 3 best stars against one of the best teams.
No, it wasn't.
Oh,
the Warriors won.
6?
That went 6.
Oh,
and
okay.
they had a chance to win that. They were up 2-1, and LeBron didn't have the best.
Kevin Love and Kyrie. Yeah,
they were up 2-1, but LeBron didn't have the best game 4.
Wait, which series? When he was in Cleveland.
The first year he was in Cleveland.
Okay, but that Cleveland team was one of the worst teams. That was one of the worst teams to ever
So
make
y'all's GOAT can't get you 1 game.
No, but that was like known as like the worst team that's ever made the finals. That and the Magic team with Dwight.
Okay, what about the year where he played the Spurs and they lost by a record margin in 5 games? He was on the Heat.
Then they beat the Spurs next year?
No, they lost the first year, or they won the first year.
Okay, that was revenge then.
Okay, but still, like I said, that doesn't negate my point.
They beat him the year before.
4 times he's been swept or lost in 5. He's won 3. 2 of those went 7. Also, 2 of his championships, literally the clutchest shots ever in NBA history, were his teammates who made those shots that kind of like put him over and helped him win these championships. So, if he wins more chips, more than 3, I can move him up in my list. But as of right now, I like him at 4. At 3, I have the most disrespected player of all time, and he's kind of weird because some people overrate him and call him the GOAT, but that's little people, and a lot of people underrate him when they say he's not top 8 or top 10 or whatever. Anyone who watched him and wasn't biased against him knows he's a top 5 player all time. Talking, of course, about Kobe Bryant. He's 3rd all time in scoring, 12 all defensive teams, which is tied for 2nd all time. So that dude was locking up along with scoring. 5 rings, 7-time All-Star, scored 81 points in a game. I would say he's the best tough shot maker ever, and clutchness only with a class of MJ. And people just didn't like the guy, but any player who played in the league, when you talk to them about their GOATs, they always have Kobe. A lot of players like in the league say he was harder to guard than LeBron or anyone else and have him as a GOAT. So Kobe Bryant at 3. At 2, I got Kareem, all-time leading scorer. He's the most accomplished player accomplished player ever. 6 MVPs, 6-time champion, 19-time All-Star. That dude, his accolades are just greater than anybody else's accolades, and I value that. And at number 1, no surprise, Michael Jordan, 6 for 6 in the finals, 6 finals MVPs, 10 scoring titles, which is ridiculous, 5 MVPs. And as soon as he got another good player, as soon as he got Pippen, he never didn't win a finals in 6 games or less. The only time that did happen, actually, it happened once, was when Pippen got sick in a game 7 and couldn't play and they lost. So you give him one good player, never really lost. So I think you have to put MJ at the go.
Keon, can I ask you a serious question? Like, really serious question.
Serious, for real.
Are you an idiot?
Am I an idiot?
Yes. You have Kobe beating Bryant over LeBron James?
I mean, you heard my reasons.
You want to talk about? I mean, you were talking about some finals. You were talking about some first times they lost. They lost in the first round.
I don't know about Kareem at 2 either. But
huh?
I don't think Kareem's 2.
I mean, he's the most accomplished player ever.
I think Kareem. I think you have to put up there.
Yeah, you have to put.
You
Kareem.
didn't have him in. What do you mean? You didn't even have him.
Did I not?
Dang.
I mean, like, I understand.
You guys are gonna.
I think I forgot to. I think I only said. I definitely said Kareem. I definitely said he's my 4.
You have it written down on here.
I know he's 4 on my list.
Oh. Well, like when it comes down to the fifth, like the bigs, it's really hard because they're all so dominant. So when you think about like Kareem, Wilt, Shaq, even kind of Hakeem, Bill Russell, it's so hard because when you have these guards, their games are so like defined. Like Michael Jordan, his style is so defined.
You could define
LeBron,
you could define Kareem,
Kobe. Yeah, but like there's less things to tell them apart. You know, it's kind of harder to compare their stats. Because even when you were just talking about Bill Russell, well, like Wilt average 30 more points per game in a season, but if you look at rebounds, they're the same. But if you look at championships, obviously Bill Russell's winning.
I think that's a way to compare those two players. But comparing Kareem and I think Kareem fits more in the modern type of NBA player than Bill Russell and Will Chamberlain.
I don't think
well, they played more recent. So I mean,
I think that's why you can compare them. I think the players that they were playing with were significantly better than the players that Wilt and Bill Russell were playing against.
For sure.